Let's learn how to set up our Ironman 4x4 Orion 1400 rooftop tent. We're gonna come up here, we're gonna pop our latches, get those popped down out of the way, and just let it go. Don't ride the slide, let the tent ride up on its own. You're gonna grab the bungee cord, we're gonna pull that down. There's a little lip. I like to tuck that bungee cord around so it stays put. So off the back here, I've got my shoe bags. I'm gonna set those aside. I've got my ladder. I'm gonna pull the ladder out of the bag. And I'm just gonna set that aside as well. Because I've got the tailgate to work off of, I'm gonna grab my window rods and I can put these 2 window rods in since I'm back here. You just slot it in that little dude right there. Pull the end up and you've got this little D-ring. And that just goes in like that. I'll do the other side too. So these side flaps, depending on how you want to set it up, if you want to have them down, just make sure to pull it down and Velcro it into place, or you can roll it up and stow it out of the way. All right, I'm gonna grab my shoe bag. I always like having my shoe bags next to my ladder. So I'm gonna hook that up here. Just use the carabiners to clip on these little D-ring loops that are already in the side of the tent there. Now let's grab our ladder. All right, with my ladder, I'm gonna hook it up on the 2 hooks here. I'm gonna keep one hand on it. I'm gonna undo the Velcro with the other hand, and we're just gonna extend the ladder all the way out. And I'll bring the ladder to the ground. Now, it's important, a ladder, you wanna keep it at about a 20 to 30 degree angle. Right now, this is a little bit too much of an angle, so I'm gonna pop the top latches here to suck the ladder up a little bit tighter. I'm gonna push these in, and I'll scoot the ladder up to about where I want it. Don't push the bottom latches in because that will collapse the whole ladder. Just do 1 rung at a time from the top just to adjust the height for the height of your truck. All right, we're gonna go ahead and open up the side door here so you can get access inside. I like to roll this up nice and tidy so I'm not climbing over it and making a huge mess of all the fabric. And I do the mesh and the window flap together, and then I'll just secure them with the toggles here. There we go. That way the door is open and we're ready to go. Now I'm gonna grab the window rods that are still sitting back here so I can get this flap set up. So you've got 2 window rods left if you've already done the back ones. You just put the end in the end of the rod in the hole here and find the D-ring, and now we can get in. But before I get in, let's turn the light on so we can see what we're doing. All right, and because this side has the big awning, I'll do this window rod from inside. Same thing, just slot it in the hole, pull it up, find the D-ring, and connect it on there. And now you've got your side awnings. On the inside of the tent, there's this bungee cord and a clip that hooks to these rings. And we're just gonna undo those. That way that's out of our way. And last step, I just like to take my window rod bags and my ladder bags, and I'll just fold them together and just put them up in these pockets. All right, next step is just to get your bedding set up. If you're gonna run a diesel heater, if it's gonna be cold out, get that set up now. Also plug in your power block for the tent if you've got that set up with your Anderson cord, and you're ready to camp. All right, so now when you're stowing the tent, it's basically the reverse of setup, but let me show you a couple quick little tricks. So your vent up top here, I actually roll this up. If you didn't have it open already, I roll it up to make sure that it's left open, because as you close the lid of the tent, this gives air a nice place to escape. Another thing you want to make sure that you have pulled down and stowed is the load pole. This is, goes up here to prop up the roof if you've got a heavy load on the roof rack. So you just want to make sure that that's stowed down tight, and then just put underneath your mattress before you close the tent. Otherwise, you can't close your tent. Tuck that away. Next, we're gonna do the window rods. So those I just do from up here. I just reach out, I grab the end here, and then with my thumb, I just roll it over the hook and hide so you can't see me, and then just pull the window rod out. Next thing I wanna do is I wanna zip up my windows. So I zip up the mesh all the way, and then I zip up the window privacy flap about halfway. That way air can escape when I close the tent lid. But it's important to zip up your window mesh. That way it doesn't flop out when you close the lid. And then also these window rods off the back, same kind of procedure, just pull it up, grab the D-ring, slide it off the end, and pull the window rod out. I also make sure to leave the foot vents open as well, as again, just another escape for air when I close the tent. That way it doesn't kind of billows out. And we'll zip this door up as well since we're done in here. Now, because I'm gonna do my last step off the tailgate of the pickup truck here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the ladder. But if you're like on an SUV or something like that and you don't have a tailgate to stand on, your ladder will be your last step. So down here at the bottom, to collapse the ladder, there's 2 switches. You're gonna push those in, and you just push the ladder all the way up, and then it's unhooked. Make sure to do the Velcro strap so that the ladder doesn't come flying apart again on you. Something like that. Also make sure to unclip your shoe bags, because we're gonna stow those inside the tent. So next, now that I'm on the tailgate here, I'm gonna grab my tent ladder bag that I left here for myself. We're gonna get the ladder put in this bag. And that way the bottom of the ladder, which is probably a little dirty from being in the dirt, doesn't get the inside of your tent dirty. And then I just stow that right here on the end of the tent, because the ladder is the first thing you wanna grab at the beginning. I also grabbed my window rod bag that I had shown there as well. And let's get our window rods put away. And those just slide down in the bag, pretty straightforward. All 4 of them, they're all the same length, nice and easy. Just down in the bag there. I fold that up, and I also stow it right here at the end of the tent, because again, I want to grab these things at the very beginning of setup. All right, next step, grab this little green toggle here for your bungee. We're gonna pull the bungee cord up and around both sides of the rain fly. You kind of want it about halfway up the side here. Very important to get the rain fly flaps underneath that, because the whole idea is it's gonna tuck everything in as you close the lid. I like to also grab the pole handle here and put it underneath the bungee just to keep that in as well. And then you're just gonna pull the lid down. Grab the top handle up here. And then as you bring it down, it's really important, you wanna keep an eye on any fabric or any little toggles that are hanging out. You just don't want them poking out through the sides here as you close it. There's a rubber seal along this edge, and you really want that to have a nice mating surface here to the bottom of the tub. If something's poking out, it's gonna prevent that seal from being 100%, and then you'll have moisture coming in, and that's not good. All right, once you've got the lid closed and you verified that everything's tucked in, nothing's poking out of the seal, just go ahead and latch your latches. And then you're all good to go.